All right.
So, hi, welcome to my blog and Akvile's blog. The thing about getting out of body that everybody should know. There's a few things, but
Really?
yeah, the thing is, if you're not a natural, or it doesn't happen by accident because you were totally exhausted one day and you took a nap and you ate too many hot peppers or some crazy thing. If that's not what happened, the thing about getting out is passionate. Persistent, focused, intense. You got to really want it and get past wanting it and be doing something about getting out. So that's just a thing that I've noticed. So if you're really into it, you got to find those techniques that you think might work for you, and you just got to work them. And in the meantime, learn all these other things. Why is it hard for me to get out of body, sort of thing. So I want to go into more detail in a second, but that's, from my perspective, that's the thing about getting out of body. Do you have a thing? About, would you have any message for people that they want to get out of body?
Basically, what you say is the story of my life. But the thing I would add that like really had a big part in my getting out of body experience is fixing present time issues. If you have any worries, concerns, fears, if you have any problems going on right now at the moment, if you're going through some hardships in life and you cannot sleep or like something's hard is going on, I believe that one of the bigger steps is like trying to fix it or get away from it or like do something to solve the issues you're having right now. Because it's like, for me, it was one of the main things that was stopping me. And once I was able to go through that phase and finally, like, find at least some more comfortable ground where I was like to be able to be myself and to be safe for at least for a little while, that was like a huge part of me getting out of body. So like for those who are having like a harsh life, I think that might be a thing as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just made me think of another thing about getting out of body. It has to do with watching TV, movies, video, computer screens, YouTube,
Phone.
phone.
Yeah, people go to
Uh,
sleep with their phones closed.
yeah, and two main reasons. One is electromagnetic field radiation, the gamma rays that come out of old TVs, and just all kinds of radiation that just radiates from the screen. That's one. But the other is it's visual stimuli during the day. If you get very little visual stimuli during the day, you're going to be more, on a spiritual level, more hungry for visual stimuli when the body's asleep. Um, Imagine these flotation tanks or deprivation chambers. You're deprived of your visual experience. You want people staying there for like 48 hours, 72 hours. It's dark and no audio, just somebody's monitoring, you can breathe and you're floating in water or salt water or something. So you don't really feel gravity. And the whole idea is to deprive the being of physical stimuli, and the spiritual being craves it. So when the body falls asleep in the flotation chamber, they're more likely to wake up because they need and want to be experience visuals as well, and audio, but mostly visual. But you don't have to be in a flotation tank or a deprivation chamber for this phenomena to be affecting your ability to get out of body. I watched very little TV, and there were no cell phones back in those days. When I was getting out, when I was doing it a lot, I was working every day. I was doing some kind of a emotional release work or limiting belief release work. Sometimes I would do entity work, but I was always doing something. I was reading a lot of Robert Monroe's materials, his binaural beat, his tapes back in those days. It was in the 80s, late 80s. It was audio tape, cassette tapes. But, when you do Robert Monroe's technique, it's visualization, the energy field, and all this stuff. Real simple, but you stick to it and you keep going. But no TV, no vision, no monitors and stuff banging at you. So that was my story, and that really helped me. I was getting out several times a week. How about you, Akvile? Do you watch much TV, or did you? What's your history on watching television and that sort of thing?
Well, I personally don't like movies unless they're like really, really good in my type, like Matrix, They Live, like something like it. But I'll be lucky if I watch 4 movies a year, and that's like my max. So I don't really see it. And like for me, I'm more of a gamer person. Well, gamer, like I just like playing video games from time to time, and it depends on what I play, but it works in a way that is sort of depending on when I play it. Let's say morning or daytime, I can play Red Dead Redemption, Assassin's Creed, Mass Effect, like depends on the game. But the experience I have, I can later that night get out of body and literally go into that game world and experience everything and choose any kind of character I want to be or be my own original character and play with them like, oh look, hi Garrus, and like I can talk to the characters I've met while playing the game. But that's a
Mhm.
small part. I still like try to stay away from that, unless like I stream Death Stranding in the evenings, but that doesn't really affect my ability to get out of body. But one of the things is that like to reach that sort of ability to get out, I was working for a whole year, every morning, every day, every night, hours and hours of investing, integrating my daily routine where I drink like tons of water, where I keep my journal, where I like have like a journal where I write down like I'm getting out of body 1,000 times, not 100, 1,000 times. Like when I took your out of body boot camp, I did like all tons of like I was like I have all those people and I wanted to grab your attention, so I like wanted to be the very best in there. So like whatever everyone else would do, I would do more than that. So like if people like, oh, I spend 100 times, well, I can do it 1,000 times then, So like start spinning and stuff and
Yeah.
adjusting my diet and stuff. But like working every morning, day and night for hours, hours, and hours to reach the result where I can get out of body every single day, at least 5 times a night, easy enough.
Wow. Yeah. That spinning thing she's talking about. You've heard of maybe you've heard of the whirling dervish. It's a spiritual teacher kind of guy, and they spin around in a circle. Well, I don't know what else it does, but it makes you kind of dizzy and disoriented from the physical body. But it's doing something else. But the spinning, if you practice spinning every day as part of your get out of body routine, this can help. And drinking a lot of water, it helps cleanse your system and increases the vibration of your physical body and your spirit body. Uh, and this all it's all connected, but then you're going to have less entity or energy phenomena messing with you. That's the low vibrational stuff. So now you have a higher vibration because of that. And that's just spinning and drinking water.
Yeah.
Another thing you can do is practice looking at your hands during the day. I mean, intensely. And that brings the focus, really puts you here, now, and more awake here, now. So you keep doing that. You do it every day, here, now, several times a day. What happens in your dreams, this will carry over, and now you're in a dream going, I'm here now. And it might wake you up spiritually enough to go, oh, whoa, wait, I am here now. And you go, this is not the physical world. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. What I just did, don't just, go, oh, here now. And you'll know that you're in a non-physical realm, but you keep focused and it brings you into here now. And you'd be surprised how vivid you can see every little detail of your fingerprints. You can look at, you pick up sand or dirt over there when you're out of body, and you go like this, and you see those little gold flecks. Have you ever seen stuff in that detail, Akvile?
The thing is, if I'm in out of body and I'm, let's say, on the sandy beach and I grab some sand and I start throwing, you know how you like see like every little speck and stuff. What I do is I zoom in as if it was under a microscope, and I see every single like little stars and little shapes and like how it looks. Like for me, when I'm out of body, I can literally like stand here and zoom in as if I had like these goggles, like my eyes, like as if bionics and stuff. And I zoom in and just go miles and miles and miles across, like as far as I can see. Sometimes I like go and pierce through mountains and rocks and the dirt and like just looking into all the materials in the ground. And like even if I grab any small specks and stuff, I zoom in to see every single detail, like, you know, under the microscope level. So I love that ability. Like, you know, you need all kinds of instruments over here on Earth, but when you go out, like, it's all here. So it's amazing.
Wow, that is so cool. Yeah.
Speaking of spinning, if you are dreaming or you have a lucid dream or you're out of body and you're about to come back to the physical body, if you start spinning, you literally prolong your dream, your lucid dream or out of body experience, because you literally shift off your consciousness and you shift it, and, like, you know, you're throwing it off, and it takes focus. So you put focus on spinning and not on getting back to the body. So it helps.
Yeah, yeah. You know, we can make another video. We'll talk about it now, but we can make another video about how to prolong your OBE. Another one is if you feel like you're starting to lose it, you can feel the consciousness starting to fade and shift, and you're like to lose your non-physical realm that you're in. You can go look at your hands real fast, or you can look at the ground. And what I do is, like, just hit the ground, man. Get real close to it and just look as close and hard and feel the ground with your hands and look at it like you're this close to it. You're literally grounding yourself, but really well. And you're grounding yourself in the other dimensional plane, the one that you're in. And that'll help you from shifting back into the physical realm. So that's a thing. Made me think of another.
Really?
Did you get?
No, I just say it. Go on.
Okay, there's these there are different groups that are really into getting out of body, right? And one of them, they use the sound hue. It's a toning. It's a, you know, it's like hue, and they're working the vibration thing. So they practice every day, and they keep a dream journal every day. And this is supposed, you know, this helps with the out of body thing. Well, yeah. Robert Monroe has a similar one that he calls resonant tuning, and it's very so that's a vibrational thing. So one time I was already out of body, and I'm just standing around looking at the beautiful scenery, trees here and rocks over here and grass, and far away, and you could see mountains, crystal clear, but they're really far away, kind of rocky, dark.
Yeah.
I go, wow. I go, oh, what would happen if I use that hue sound while I'm already out of body? So I did that. And I just took a deep breath over there. It's like, and I could, you know, twice as much, you know, 3, 4, 5 times as breath, right? And I go, hue. And it was real long, you know, and I got done. And then it's quiet. And this big ass, booming, deep thing comes back from the fucking mountain. It was so deep and ominous, and fuck, I was scared the crap out of me is what it did. But it wasn't scary so much as overwhelmingly strong. Yeah. Coming back at me, like, he's back at you, boy. And I'm like, whoa, was that amazing and awesome. So I'm curious, anybody that can get out much, or, you know, remember this, when they do get out, try it. I want to see what happens when you go for a real long extent, you know, like 5, 10 seconds long, or 15 seconds. How long? See what happens. Is something going to happen for you too? I'm curious, because that was like, wow.
Yeah. Wow. I like it.
Yeah.
So, like, there's tons of techniques to get out of body and tons of things to try out when you're out of body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, you've heard of these. Have you ever heard of these Faraday cages? If not, Faraday was an scientist back in the days around, I don't know, the 20s, 30s, maybe around the time Edison was there. But Faraday was another smart guy working electricity and electronics and stuff. So they have this thing, a Faraday cage. He created a big cage that you can get inside of, or a little cage. But anyway, it's copper wires and stuff, and you run electrical current through it. And I forget why he was researching this, but will it keep a person from being able, while they're in their astral, will they keep the person from being able to cross through the cage because of the electrical current? So in the astral, you'll see the astral copy of the electrical current going through the wires. And so will that prevent a person from passing through that? So it's called Faraday cage. So I heard that the government, when they do their psychic research and remote viewing research and their out-of-body travel research, that they'd cover the whole rooms, these underground rooms that they had. The people could get out of body, but they had protection, so spies couldn't come in and see what they're doing. And it was a Faraday energy field sort of thing. So anyway, I'm like, whatever, I'm not building one around my apartment or house. But I was out of body one time, and I was just on a different planet, and you know, it was like this. It was buildings and people and cars and stuff, civilization going on. But they were after me. They didn't like me being in their realm. They were aware of the multidimensionality of reality, and that I was a traveler from another dimensional plane, and say, hey, what are you doing here? Get the hell out. You don't belong here. I'm like, and I don't want to just like run back to my body, so I'm just running away from them, right? I run down the street. I run into a room. I'm looking around, stairs, go downstairs. Now I'm hiding in the basement, trying to hide from the cops, the multidimensional cops. And I'm like, I go, oh shit. I ended up going into one of these cages, like you see them in movies sometimes. It's in the basement. It's a cage with a lock on it. And it's like chain link fence. And they just store boxes and freight and different things in there with a little higher security. But I got in there and it had one of these electric wires, electric stuff going through the fence. So I heard them coming after me. I go, oh shit, I better just go through a wall and fly away like I normally do. I hit that fence and I couldn't go through it. Now I could go through the walls in that world, but I couldn't go through that Faraday cage. I'm going, oh. And I got kind of scared. And then I remembered, oh, duh, I didn't lock the door when I came in the cage. I just ran in here and I go, ooh, like a rat, you know, let me out of here. Bam, and I couldn't fly out. I go, oh, wait. So I just went through the door, the little, you know, wire cage door. And then I'm looking around, and then I see the wall here, and you know, they got the little windows up here. You know, you're in the basement, so you see these little ground level windows. I go, yeah. But instead of just climbing through the window, I just flew through and flew out and got away from the bad guys. So yeah, but yeah, that's a Faraday cage story.
Makes me think of, like, you know, some ETs right now with some advanced technology can use a sort of Faraday cage, but not in the physical shape, sort of, but just the astral energy shape. Like they use their technology weapons to just, like, you know, direct the energy, boom, and they trap beings and they cannot move. They get this sort of stasis feeling and like pretty much paralyzed.
Which reminds me, there's that earth, the grid around the earth. It's all beat up and it's got a lot of holes in it, so it can't hold us. But it's an energy field grid around the earth. And it was basically the same reason, to keep people from being able to go out of body and then fly off beyond the earth plane. And they want people to bounce off that or somehow be, you know, stay within the earth's astral realm right around the earth. It's more like a containment realm, and it seems like an afterlife, and it's got the spirit guides in there and all this nonsense you don't really need, but a lot of people will arrive there. Not everybody, you know. You can just as easily drop dead or have an out-of-body experience and go through the energy field, the energy grid, because it's got a lot of holes in it.
Yeah.
But also, you can teleport. You don't have to go through it, and you can just teleport. And what happens when you teleport when you're out of body is you literally stop creating your astral body or your second body. It's just not being created. And it's recreated far, far away. But now you're in it far, far away, and you materialize your astral body, physical body, second body, whatever you want to call it. And you go, oh, I'm good. And you don't have to like try to push your astral body through the energy field around the earth. And it's just, and we do it all the time. We teleport in consciousness to when we do multidimensionality travel in our dream states and our out-of-body experiences. It happens all the time. So they really can't catch us unless we're being ignorant or uninformed or uneducated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Wow. Good place.
Yeah, we can wrap it up, I guess.
Okay. Did you have any more stories or anything you want to share?
Yeah, but we can leave it for the other videos.
Oh, alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks for everybody for watching. And Akvile, thanks for doing this with me.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Teacher
Becomes the student, because she can get out way better than I can now.
You taught me, so.
Anyway, okay, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Put your questions down here and we'll check them out. Get back to you when we can. Okay, bye-bye.